Coming up on the Get Loud podcast, Fred Smoot is going to plan my bachelor party now.
Yes, I am. And the Pro Bowl stinks.
The Pro Bowl absolutely stinks. We're going to go through every hire in the NFL, and
The Saints still ain't got a coach.
you have some NBA opinions.
Yes, I do. Luka Lamster, the King Slayer.
Let's do it. It is the Get Loud podcast presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. Find tickets to Commanders games and more at SeatGeek. Fred Smoot, Michael Jenkins, how you doing, bro?
Man, life has changed, man. I want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
On your marriage proposal. She said yes.
She said yes.
How do you feel, Jenks?
I feel great.
You know what? I cannot wait to throw your bachelor party.
We have already been
It's gonna be a bachelor party brought to you by Get Loud. We're going to have a very fun 48 hours.
Oh, I think we got Logan in too.
Yeah, Logan's in. You know, I'm gonna invite London Fletchers of the world, the Santana
Oh,
Mosses
okay,
of the
let's
world.
go.
We're gonna really make this a party for you, brother. We're gonna enjoy. I am a good time coordinator. This is what I'm built for.
This is one thing I do not doubt in my life. I would never doubt. Like, who's the one guy? Fred Smoot. That's the guy you want playing the party.
I am built for this, Jinx. Thank you for giving me the privilege of being the guy that handles your bachelor party.
I think you're more excited than I am.
I very much am. Listen, once you let me know the date,
Okay.
then I know what I have to do
Okay.
to make this mission. This is like the Marines to me. All right? I'm the
Okay.
I'm the first in. All right?
Yeah. First in, last out, man.
I'm going to make sure I return you to Lady Catherine
Okay.
looking a mess. That's all I'm saying. You won't look your best. That's all I'm saying. You won't look your best.
I'm ready for this. We'll keep you updated on that. Let's do your hot ticket presented by SeatGeek, the most disruptive idea in ticketing. A ticket that works. Expect the expected SeatGeek. Anna out this week.
Yes.
Hang with the fam, so we'll see her shortly. But we welcome in Caroline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
The best ability is availability.
That I am. Someone's out there like, Caroline, good news. You are editing a new podcast this week. So
Great job. Way to
Anna?
step in there and step them big shoes that Anna lay, and you
I
feel
know
them
prime
right.
time. I'm feeling a little nervous, but
No, don't feel nervous.
Rush
Let
it.
it be. Let it be.
Rush it.
We're not that important.
Nah. Also not that important.
Yeah.
The Pro Bowl games.
Oh,
Am I wrong? Am I being an
I
old
didn't
man
even know
yelling
they.
the clouds
Listen
here?
to me. Take the Pro Bowl, throw it in the garbage. Don't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's useless. It's useless. Useless. What were they jumping rope? What were they doing this week? What?
They're punting into like vats or something.
I seen them spiking the ball and measuring how powerful the spike was.
It's a little desperate.
It's cringy.
Mhm.
All right, I'm sorry. It's just not what it used to be. Now I understand. Nobody wants to play an extra game. All right, they should have never really had the Pro Bowl be a game.
Mm-hmm.
They should have you fly out to Hawaii, enjoy yourself and your family for 3 days, and kick back and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you want to mingle with the fans, so be it. Other than that, I don't need to see the greatest athletes in the world. I'm going to tell you how bad it was. The best highlight of the Pro Bowl was me watching Marshall Manning, Peyton Manning's son.
Yep.
That's my highlight.
Yeah.
That's it. Watching Marshall out there throw the ball lets me know another Manning is coming. All right? So I don't really care about the Pro Bowl. And that's why I'm glad that Jedi 5, Mr. Jen Daniels, and Terry McLaurin opted out of them shenanigans to say, you know what, let us two get ready to make another run. We're not gonna go play those games with the All-Stars. We're not doing that anymore. We're gonna focus on trying to get our team right from a 55-point debauchery in the NFC Championship.
Well, just so you know, we got voicemails coming up. We're going to talk to Logan, who was down at the Senior Bowl. And
They
get
sent
his
the wrong man.
evaluations. Yeah, you've been saying that. Like, you should have gone.
I should have gone. I'm the draft guru. All right, Jenks?
When did they let Logan take over?
I don't know. It started like 2 years, 3 years ago. I think he went behind my back to the big bosses. I don't know how he weaseled that out. But I used to be the in-house draft guru, and now he's kind of taking my place. So we're going to have we picked 10 guys last year.
Okay.
It's been a calendar year since we picked the guys. We're going to go back and research that to see who was the better draftee, and I think it was me. But like I said, like Dewey Cox said, they sent the wrong guy.
I'll tell you, when I was watching full disclosure, I did not watch the Pro Bowl games. I went back, I read all
you
about it.
disgust me if you did.
I watched a lot of clips because I always try to prepare, but I was like, man, this to me, honestly, I had to be reminded that the Pro Bowl games were this weekend.
I was
like,
watching the
oh,
Grammys.
Yeah.
I was not watching the Pro Bowl.
You're watching Beyonce.
Yes, I was watching the Grammy. Not like us. I was watching Drake not show up is what I was doing.
Kendrick got 5 Emmys. We were talking about this earlier.
5.
5.
Sweet, where that broom at? Where that broom at?
That one song, 5 Grammys, and the Super Bowl halftime show.
And it's a diss song. It wasn't
Yes.
even supposed to be on his album. Think about that. If Drake don't talk no noise to him and drop a diss track, we never get this album.
And it wasn't even the first diss track.
No, it wasn't. And then we was waiting like, is Kendrick gonna respond?
Oh.
Is it? Monday, Wednesday, Thursday passed. And then I woke up Friday morning. Won't, don't. It was over with.
How'd it go? Don't.
It was over with. So, no, I was more excited about the Grammys and way to rebirth the Grammys because it almost had died on the vine, too.
Yeah.
Way to rebirth it. It was a show. And for the first time, I thought the right people won the right categories.
Yeah. Well, I also like to, and I feel like being the Pro Bowl guy because they're just playing a bunch of grab ass out here,
Yeah.
And so when you see, and there are people who've been discovered on the internet, TikTok, whatever, but when you watch an award show, you see that next level oftentimes where, look, there's a lot of talent in the world, but then you see this is
Here go the 1%
elite
of the 1%.
Yes.
And when you got the whole crowd of superstars singing your song word for word, oh, that means you there. And not only did you just win 5 Grammys, we'll be watching you this weekend, Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh, my God. And SZA's going to be there? I like SZA.
I love
yeah. I love SZA.
She won a lot of Grammys, too.
Yeah,
All right?
she's also very talented.
So listen, it's a great year for talent, but the Pro Bowl ain't one of them. We need to find a different way to showcase the 1% of the NFL athletes. I don't know if you just do an award ceremony.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't have an answer, and I usually don't like to shoot stuff down unless I got an answer to it, Jenks. I don't know how to fix the Pro Bowl.
Well, and now too, if you're not really, they have alternates to the Pro Bowl, but do you really need alternates now that you're not playing in an actual game and you're watering down the award? That's what I don't like.
Russell Wilson had no business there.
Drake May was a Pro Bowler this year.
Had no business there.
Tyler Huntley last year. This guy's not a Pro Bowler.
It's over. Like I don't think the NFL know how to lose.
Right.
That's our thing. You win so much that even in your losses, you're like, yeah, it was a win. Like right now, somebody in the headquarters like, yeah, hell of a Pro Bowl weekend.
Right.
No, it wasn't.
No.
It's just not. And like I said, I know for a fact it can't be no game. I like the flag football, but I don't like the flag football. So it's this.
I like, I always say there's a difference between theory and practice. And so in theory,
it sounds great.
It sounds great. But in practice, when you see it, it's like, this really isn't that great. The idea is wonderful. But when you see it, it's not that great.
And that's, where was it? Was it in Vegas?
I think it's Orlando, I think. Caroline?
It was Orlando because we were supposed to go, but that's besides the point. But one thing I have to say about the Pro Bowl, not to spread some more hate on it.
Hate?
Once it gets to the 6th person coming off the bench, this is the participatory Pro Bowl.
Yes.
This is no longer the Pro Bowl.
It's not.
When I was, on Twitter, as I do, I see Russell Wilson throws a dart, a touchdown to Jamar Chase. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yes.
I mean, really.
Right.
Let's
what
ride.
are we doing here?
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Broncos country. That's right.
Cringe.
Is
that the cringiest sport moment? I was Duval. Was that the cringiest sports moment?
Duval.
Everybody in Jacksonville let their window down and look back like,
this is our guy?
This the guy we just hired?
And his eyes got wide and he did the tilt. Saying Duval's one thing, going Duval.
Did he practice it with his wife the day before? That's the question.
I don't know.
And
she coached him wrong
and
if they practiced it together.
Who told him, if you when you sign off, go just blank out and go Brian Kelly on him. All right? Blank out and go Brian Kelly on him. And you cannot get off that mic without saying Duval. And
Bad.
He blew it.
Big time.
Jenks, if you're a Jacksonville Jaguar right now, are you optimistic?
No.
The guy can't even say Duval.
At least they fired their GM, which needed to happen.
No, he needed to go.
Yeah.
He was.
I'll tell you one thing. If
Trent
only
Baalke is who you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at least for him leaving, because Liam Cohen, remember, came in, interviewed, said, no, I don't want this job.
I'm not working with him.
Then they fired the GM, Baalke.
Yeah.
And then Liam Cohen said, all right, now I'll take the job. Because Trent Baalke's track record of drafting and signing guys, Awful.
Awful. But he continues to keep a job. Like sometimes once you in these loops, you in these loops. But guess what's worse than the Jacksonville Jaguars? The New Orleans Saints. Because they don't have a coach.
No.
They got negative $51 million under the cap. They have older veterans on their team. Where is the arrow? Like, if you're a head coach,
Okay.
this is what you're going to sell me on. We messed up under the cap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we have a quarterback. We aging at every position. Like, how can you sell me on that, Jenks? Like, how could you sell me as a coach to say, you know what, I'm going to put my name on the line to come down here and be the Saints?
This is one of those situations where you just say, well, I get another chance.
Afterwards.
Right, to be a head coach in the NFL. It's not, going in, this is not a good situation.
Yeah.
Can I make the most of this situation and increase my value, or am I putting myself in a lose-lose situation?
You have to give me a long-term contract if you want me to do this, because this is a long-term fix.
Yeah.
I can't fix it in 3 years. I need 5 years to fix this.
Mhm.
So if you give me a 5-year contract, I'm willing to come down there. But I just don't, the job itself is not an attractive job. It's just nothing about the job that you could say, yeah, but I do got Camaro. That's it.
And it should be in theory, again,
Yeah.
great job.
Yeah.
One's a great city. You played the Superdome. You got
Yeah.
history there. You won Super Bowl.
Yeah, the crowd is like,
into it.
The fan base is lit up.
But right now they're a mess.
I've been saying, like, economically, I can't win there. Physically, I can't win there. I'm in a division with Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young, Michael Penix.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no quarterback. I am the worst team in the South right now. I don't know if I'd take that job.
Oh, let's keep going down the list then.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson, Bears.
I thought that was the best job
Yeah.
because now it's the harder division, but you got Caleb.
Yep.
You got weapons all over this team. Defense was better than you thought it was. We just crashed their party. After the Hell Noah play, they went down here. They can blame that season all on the Washington Commanders. You are welcome. We gave you everything you deserve. But I thought that, and I like what Ben did. All right? He said, and I wonder is Kelly Moore going to do this year?
Yeah.
He said, nah, I don't like the job offers from last year. I'm going to stay a year until my dream job opens up, the one that I probably won't get fired from. So do you show patience? Or you take one of the 32 jobs and just go and take that job?
Oh, man. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hold the rest of these job openings. I want to get your take on all these. So we're going to hold these until after we do a little voicemail here, after we talk to Logan. Caroline is here. She has the emails and voicemails. Give us a call, 703-726-7419, or shoot us an email, WashingtonGetLoud@gmail.com. Caroline?
So, in true Anna spirit, she picked these out. So,
Okay.
shout
All
out to
right.
Anna, as per usual, working even when she isn't supposed to be. So,
Yeah.
these
Colorado.
These ones were picked out by Anna.
All
We'll
right.
do 2 now, 2 later.
Cool. All right, that's
cool.
fine.
There
Let's
with
do
me.
it.
All right, let's hear it.
Philadelphia resident and a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I just wanted to congratulate you guys on a wonderful season. You guys exceeded everyone's expectations. I guess maybe not your own, but everyone else you did. And I'm seeing now that in the NFC East, it's going to be you and us fighting it out every year. And I like that because the Cowboys suck.
A classy Eagles fan.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that existed. Like,
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
is that
Bravo.
possible? I have never heard an Eagles fan that class personified.
No threats of violence?
It's like Jenks, my DM. Blew up after this game with nothing but Eagles fans. I have been called everything except the son of Jesus. All right? Listen to me, Jenks. The most violent, physically, emotionally, mentally fan base ever is the Philadelphia fans. And we just talked to a preacher from Philadelphia. That was a blessing right there.
A good man. Good man.
I have to say, I did not see that coming.
I can't.
Way to make your fan base look better, brother. That was respect right there.
Yes, appreciate that. And also, we can all agree the Cowboys suck.
If we agree on one thing,
Right.
it's that. And they didn't get no better.
Right. Exactly right.
I love how you had to say that you've been getting major heat. We need to commend you for that because I don't think enough people are giving you props for the just the heat you're under at this point in time, but you still continue to be here and
I laugh.
You laugh. I mean,
Listen, I read these DMs and I laugh. And this be some of the most vulgar stuff. And I just laugh because I'd be like, did you really take the time out of your day to just attack me? That's fine.
like Fred lost, but to him he didn't. So if someone DMs him, somehow it's gonna get put back on you, and it's gonna be brutal.
Oh, I'm fine. Like
Right. Nothing happened to you?
I play DB in the NFL.
Right,
It ain't
this is
too much.
nothing.
This is too much you can't do to me.
That's very fair. So we had a nice Eagles fan. That was nice.
Yeah,
Little change up.
This is a
I like that.
contradictory.
Switch it up a little bit.
Let's go to the second one.
Is this a Cowboys fan?
Oh, redo. Technical difficulties without Anna here.
Yeah, we understand.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Been watching y'all this whole season. Love Fred Smoot. Love Jenks. Hey, man, I've been a fan my whole entire life. I was a little kid. I lived 10 minutes from RFK, and I have been a fan, a diehard fan. This year, of course, we wanted to go to the bowl. That's what it's all about, of course. But our team, Washington, has established a new interstate to Stardom. Okay? We are on a new highway. That other one been shut down. We are back in business. Thank you guys for everything y'all been doing. I love y'all, but we have rebuilt a highway to Stardom.
I love his voice, by the way.
He's very White-esque.
It sounds like he just pulled up to a liquor store on a horse, all right, with a 5-gallon hat on, spurs,
Okay.
and a gun on his hip.
No? Okay.
He sounds like that. If you had to, how did he sound to you?
He sounded like a guy who's seen a lot. Been through a few things.
So it seemed like he talked like some stink all the time. Like he got that look on his face.
Fred, I used to live near RFK. All right. I've seen a few highways built over time. Some of those highways crumble. Some go straight ahead. Headed to the top, baby.
Oh, yes.
Love it. Hey, and I think he speaks for a lot of fans now that a loss always hurts.
It hurts.
But once the dust settles, you have that perspective.
Appreciation.
Yeah.
All right? Because everybody was emotional when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I heard people like, this season was a fluke. What are
Make
you
the NFC
talking about?
championship game.
They earned their right to
Yes.
play in that game. They earned that. Detroit, they had basically gave Detroit the Super Bowl trophy without playing.
Mm-hmm.
We went up there and beat them to smithereens. All right? They earned this trip that we had that they've taken us on. Thank you, fellas. It was great. I enjoyed every
Also,
moment.
great use of the word smithereens. You don't hear that any longer. Beat him to smithereens.
Yeah, smithereens.
I love that. I gotta bring that back.
That just tell you how old I am.
I love it, though. I love old school words
Because
like
my
that.
grandma used to be like, I'm finna come whoop you, boy, to smithereens.
You're like,
And I'm
oh.
like, oh, I'm out.
Let's pay some bills, and I'm going to sit back.
Yeah.
Caroline, Smoot, let's go.
Go handle that thing, Caroline.
Get Loud is brought to you by Bet365, official sports betting partner of the Washington Commanders. Bet on a range of NFL markets with the Bet365 app. Craft your own personalized bet slip with Parlay. Access thousands of games with live streaming. Place your bet before the match or bet during the game. It's up to you. Download the Bet365 app today and join 80 million members worldwide. Age 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
That's what I'm talking about. And I will pick up the phone and tell you you're gambling too
Right.
much.
And a lot of people say gambling problem. She goes, gambling problem?
Yeah.
Because there is a question mark there.
Yeah, it's always a question
it.
mark there.
Yeah.
All right. Sometime it just happens because I'm sure people going to do a lot of gambling this week in this game. It should be
man.
tight, MWAA. We don't travel to escape life. We travel so life don't escape us. We dream of any place in the world, and in a blink of an eye, we're there. That's the wonder of flight. All you have to do is decide where to. Dulles International Airport. Let your imagination soar. Book your adventure today at flydulles.com/nonstop. Mississippi State University.
Here's something else we can't escape.
Yeah.
The presence of Logan Paulsen.
Yes.
As promised, here he is, back from the Senior Bowl. We have a Senior Bowl correspondent.
I guess that's what I am.
They sent the wrong man.
I know that chops you up a little, Fred.
They sent the wrong
It's
man.
okay. You wouldn't have come back from Mobile. It's a dark place.
I have been the draft guru in-house for a decade and a half.
Have you worked here for a decade?
Yes, a decade and a half.
Can we fact
I
check
have
that?
been the draft guru, and you come in and you just replace me.
It's called
They just literally put you in my spot.
What I would say, Fred, is just they gave the job to someone who works harder at it.
Ooh, well, I'm just more natural talent when it comes to viewing talent. Like when it comes,
That's a fair point.
like when it comes to just looking at guys and say, you know what, will it translate to the next level?
You got it.
I just got a knack for it, man.
Is it too soon to talk about your Emmanuel Forbes take, or should we let that one go?
All right, this is what I say about my Emmanuel Forbes
I
take.
think I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this.
This is what I say about my Emmanuel Forbes take. Any package that's handled wrong,
This is a
will
great
be
point.
destroyed.
This is a great point.
So I think where he's at in L.A., he will get nurtured. I don't think the coach who drafted him nurtured him very well. So therefore, any player can be ruined in this NFL. We have seen it so many times. A la Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold gets drafted to the New York Jets where nobody succeeds. All right. Then he ends up in Minnesota with a coach that nurtures him. And now he's a Pro Bowl player. So that's the fickle life of an NFL player. You landed. Here go the wrong thing about sports. This is the only thing I hate. The best players in college end up with the worst jobs.
In terms of draft.
In towards the draft.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, because if I'm the best IT guy coming out of MIT, I'm probably going to Apple.
Right.
I'm not going to a startup.
But in the NFL, it's like, guess where you're going? Radio Shack.
Yes.
no.
You're going to Las Vegas.
You're going to work on answering machines.
yeah.
Cool.
You're the number one athlete in the world. We're sending you to the abyss.
Yeah.
Like, this is what happened. So, I was wrong about Ford. Not yet.
But so that's the thing is if you do enough draft stuff, you're going to be wrong about a ton of people
Yeah.
because it's like there's a personal element, right? Where like I was at a high school that I coach at, and he was taking a call from NFL scouts about a player he coached 5 years before.
Yeah.
And they're calling the high school coach. And so that's like the
Is that
level,
right?
That's the level of detail that these teams
No,
go
they
in
do
on
that, yeah.
to try and determine the person, right?
Yeah.
And so we don't get the person, we just get the film. And then also the landing spot is incredibly important. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you see a guy who's really talented but doesn't quite fit the system, not quite lined up. So even though I'm giving Fred a hard time, like everyone's got takes like that where you're like, oh man, that's
Well, and you can't measure, you can try, but you can't measure everything.
Yeah.
Like there are certain intangibles to how is this person going to adjust to this situation? Will these personalities mesh? You can ask a million questions, but ultimately you don't know until that person is there on the spot in it.
And you don't know how they're going to concede to this new pressure that the NFL brings that college doesn't. You don't know how they're going to be. They might be a great practice player, but when the lights turn on, they sputter a little bit. So it's just so much you don't know. And that's why I always say coaching is so important when it comes to drafting. Like, if you don't have the right coaches in place, you'll never get peak me out of me.
Yeah, and I do think that the new, like with the NIL stuff, you're actually getting guys that are more pro-ready.
Yeah.
Because one of the variables that you couldn't account for before was what does this guy do when he gets a lot of
money.
money?
Yeah.
And now all these guys have money. So
Yeah.
they've kind of had to develop a level of professionalism, a level of responsibility that previous prospects didn't have to deal with. And again, like they're more social media trained, they're ready for the money. So I do think it becomes a little bit easier for some of that stuff. But yeah, ultimately you never know. And that's why everyone says the draft's such a big crapshoot because there's all these variables that you can't aggregate together to make a decision.
Yep.
So when you look at this year's draft class, and obviously the place you start is quarterbacks because the quarterbacks always still
They always do
you
it.
got to have a quarterback, and teams tend to either overdraft, overpay for quarterbacks. But if you're in a position like the Titans or another team, what do you do when you need unless you believe in Will Levis, but if you need a quarterback,
mayonnaise.
do you say, look, we got to have a quarterback. This is our chance, but it's not the strongest class. Or do you say we go all in on a guy like Travis Hunter? This is a very tricky spot to be in.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question because you mentioned Travis Hunter, but I think the other variable here is Abdul Carter and what he brings as a rusher off the edge. He's
Best
from Penn
edge.
State. And in terms of juice, get off, he reminds you a lot. He wears the same number as Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
And so do you get a generational, true blue chip player?
Yeah.
Or do you take a shot on a guy? Like if you're doing big boards right now, probably, like 1 to 100. Like Abdul Carter is probably the number one player. Him or Mason
Top
Graham from
three, hands
Michigan.
down.
Yeah, like they're doing a Travis Hunter, put your guy there, right?
Yeah.
Do you take a franchise-changing player at a position that is less valuable than quarterback, even though the quarterback's at 20?
Yeah.
And I think that's the question you run into. Like Cam Ward is special. He has some special traits.
Yeah.
He's fought through adversity. His story is very similar, actually, to Jane
Jane
Daniels in a lot
Daniels.
of ways, right? But you kind of look at that and you say, I could get a generational pass rusher to build around, and I think that's something that every team's going to have to weigh. And the rumor coming out of the Senior Bowl right now is that they're going to go they're leaning Abdul Carter. Now that's what are we 4 months out, 4 weeks, whatever.
Yeah.
Like this is it's silly season already, but it kind of speaks to your question there. Like there are some really talented non-quarterbacks that are really unique. And so why would I take a chance on a guy that I don't love? Now, I think there are teams that are going to love Cam Ward. I think there's going to be a little bit of mixed bag on Shedeur Sanders. It's just my take on it.
Yeah.
But that's the $1 million question.
Well, I think with the thing about Shedeur, his arm is not as strong as you want it to be. His is not as big as you want him to be. So if I'm the New York Giants, I have to ask myself, can his ball cut through the wind in New York?
That's a great question.
All right. And would I shock the world if I said I'm not a guy that says Travis Hunter consistently is the best corner in the draft. I love Will Johnson from Michigan.
But he's coming off an injury.
He's coming off an injury, but injuries heal.
Yeah.
I just think totality of talent, covering ability with his length and speed, I just think it needs to be more debate there, but it's not going to be debate because, like you said, Will is hurt.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing about Travis Hunter specifically. It's like he's a very good receiver. He's a very good corner. But if he was playing only one of those positions, would it be a top 5 pick? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's the thing about him that makes him so interesting. And then, like, what do you value as the team drafting him? Do you want an offensive playmaker? He's only 175 pounds. There's like a bad recent history of smaller guys producing at the next level. I don't know. It's just an interesting conversation. It kind of speaks to the conversation we have earlier. There's no right answer to the test, so to speak, right? There's all these variables that have to be considered.
Well, I think Travis Hunter, think about it. Let's just group him as a wide receiver. Even on this team, I think he'll be a number 3. Wide receiver,
but he's a corner, right?
No,
like
he's a corner.
Anything he has,
that's why I say
receiver-wise,
I
is
think
a
he's
bonus.
a 1A or 1B corner.
But I think depending on who you talk to, there's teams that say we want him as a receiver. There's other teams you talk to that say we want him as a corner. So that's where the debate is weird. It's like it's so gray with a player like this, and it's so unique because he's literally one of one. There's been nobody else like it. And so I think watching his evaluation and watching him go through this process is especially interesting because of the uniqueness of the player and the situation.
So what do you think?
I actually think I'd probably lean corner because I think it's harder to find good corners. Now,
wide receiver,
that being said, this is a very weak wide receiver class this year. So if you need offensive playmakers, right, you're really kind of at a short. You're at a loss. So the New York Giants are a great example. You might, just because of the lack of offensive playmakers in your offense, say, we need more offensive playmakers. We are drafting him as this because of our deficiency as a team. But if Jacksonville drafts him, they need an elite corner. Right? So then they might say that that's how we view him. So I think that's where it's like situation, like Fred was talking about earlier, is going to be so critical with him and the team's needs that he's going to.
When it comes to Shedeur, and I don't know the answer, but I think, narratives can take hold. And one of the narratives surrounding him is, okay, if you draft him and things don't go the way Deion wants them to go, you do have to deal with the personality that is Deion, because people will respond and always listen to whatever Deion has to say. Is that overstated or not?
No, I just think this is not the first second-generation football father we've dealt with. Do people not remember when Eli came out and San Diego had the first pick?
But once he was done, once the draft was over, the Manning stepped out. Would Deion step out of that situation?
Well, I think he's going to be almost forced out. Like, it's separation anxiety for a parent. Like when your kid leaves your house at 12th grade and goes to college for the first time, for the first couple of months, you don't know how to react. And I think the only problem is we've never seen Shedeur without Deion. Like, he's been with him since high school.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the big question to the coaches that's drafting him is how well are you going to do not under the armpit of your father? But I don't see Deion, like, putting himself into the conversation. I just think after he get drafted, Deion going to clap, show his support, go back to Colorado. I just don't think he's going to be as loud as people think he's going to be.
And also, I think this is this is the way the modern player is going coming out of college, right? They have more access to money. They have more influence on their situations in college. They can kind of pick the right situations. I think even with Caleb Williams last year, you saw a guy who was really trying to influence and affect his process and impact his relationship with the team very early on. So I think that's just going to be the types of players coming out. They're used to that. And I think it's good for the game. I think it's honestly good for the players in the NFL to have a little bit more say in terms of their personal branding. So I kind of agree with Fred in that I don't think Deion's going to be quite at the forefront, but I do think you're going to get players who are more ready to kind of impact their situation than players previous.
What is a trait that you look for at any position? And I know different traits translate to different positions, but what's something you look for that you think is an underrated attribute of someone that might be drafted?
So I'm going to give you two because I can't just pick one. One is toughness, 100%. Toughness and how kind of smart, their love of the game. I'll say that.
Okay.
Because if you're really tough, like you're really competitive, like you look at guys who carve out long careers for themselves, like just by being tough. It's a tough game still, right? And if you love the game, you're going to study, you're going to prep, you're going to get better. I don't want a guy that's the finished product. I definitely don't want that.
He's reached his ceiling. I want that.
And I think those two variables are indicators of guys that want to continue to grow and want to continue to develop. I think Jaden Daniels is a great example. When you look at his competitive toughness in college, you got the vibe just from the tape that he was a guy that wanted to improve and continuously get better. So when I'm looking at any prospect, those are things that, like if you're a kicker, I want to see a fire to you. You know what I'm saying? Because those are things that inform a personality trait, a competitive toughness, again, which is something that I think when you talk to Dan, when you talk to Adam, they prioritize, and it pays dividends because even if they're not where they're not maximized right now, they will maximize themselves. And that ability is so critical for draft, I think.
Poise, passion, problem solving.
Passion's good.
The 3 P's.
Like passion, yeah.
That's what I look for. All right? The 3 P's right
Passionate man.
What did you say that?
The 3 P's. The 3 P's.
No, I'm just saying.
I was like, where's Smoot going?
No, I'm just
He's
saying.
actually answering this seriously.
The poise is your ability to, it never gets too big for you. The passion means you love the game. The problem solving is the ability to your game to continue to grow because you're going to run into problems in this
Like
league.
handle adversity kind of?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I can get those 3 things from you, I know I got an athlete right here. I know I got somebody that, 1, selfless, want to give me everything he got. 2, won't bound under pressure. 3, they love it. Like if I can't make you love the game. Like
I was just going to say, it's amazing sometimes that you'll see an athlete who has all of the athletic gifts in the world, but they don't necessarily love
it.
the game.
Yeah, it's a difference in it. Like sometimes you just God's gift to the game. Like if I was born 6'6", 310, I don't need to love it to be good at it.
Right.
Like I could just go out here and handle my thing because of God's gift. But when you see somebody with the passion of a Ray Lewis or London Fletcher come out there and put it all on the line, Sean Taylor, guys play with a smile on their face like Jaden Daniels, that's the passion for the game right there. And if you got that passion for the game, they will not cheat the game. And I have seen it too many times. Guys cheat the game. They got the passion and love it. They won't cheat it.
No, I agree.
Who's a guy that, there's the big names out there that we'll talk about before the draft. Who's someone we're not talking about that you've watched, that you've scouted, that you've seen, who you think is going to be a great pro?
Yeah, that's always tough. The great pro thing's always tough. But guys that you like, guys that you like in the process. Edge rusher from UCLA. Let's see if I can say his name.
Oh, come on, butcher it for me.
Olufemi. That was close.
That's wrong.
Oladejo. He played a linebacker, played stand-up middle linebacker for UCLA for 3 years, and then moved to defensive end this last year. And, the Senior Bowl is not a perfect event, but watching him, the juice, the passion, the energy that he brought, the physicality that he played with, that's a guy that you say, hey, like you might have some athletic limitations, but your passion and fire and hunger to get better are going to make any team better. They're going to make you better. And the fact that you're in a new position, I think is extremely important. And so he was a guy that really stood out to me. I mean, I got a bunch of guys because you watch, 60 to 100 guys, but he's one that to me definitively stuck out at the Senior Bowl event.
Hey, if I look at a guy, I like Rocket Sanders that just played at South Carolina, the running back.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be special at the next level. I think he has the size. I think he has the speed. I think he has the break tackle ability. I think he can catch out the backfield. Might be drafted in the 4th, 5th round. But I think he's going to be one of these guys when we look back at this draft, people are going to be like, how did we not draft this kid? I just think he got it. Like the more I keep watching him, the more I'm like, this guy right here, he can play next level football. So Rocket Sanders for me.
Yeah, and I think that's a really telling good pick by Fred because this is a very deep running back
Running
class.
back draft, yes.
So there's going to be a lot of guys in that 4th, 5th, 6th round that are going to contribute to rosters. Yeah. And they're just good. There's a lot of them. So
ETN, like a ton of these guys that be ready to play some ball. So this ain't about just Ashton Jeanty.
Well, I was going to ask, it's Jeanty, at least on paper and everything else. How good is Jeanty?
He's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, he is amazing.
He's special. He's a special football player. His contact balance, his speed, his ability to hit the explosive home run play, catch the football in the backfield. I mean, he does feel like he's in the same category as like Bijan Robinson, but I think his missed tackle percentage is better. To give you context for how good he was at Boise State. Now, there's level of competition, things like that, but he was he was tremendous this year, especially through the first, what was that, 6 games in the year? He's averaging 10 yards a carry. Like, it's a very unique, very special, very gifted runner. Now, running back is one of those ones. You got to go to a good offensive line. You got to go to the right system to maximize you. But I think he's a guy that is definitely a unique talent.
Well, that's all you really need to know. If you want a Senior Bowl like recap, that's it. And we're going to be listening to you throughout the next few weeks as we get ready for the draft, because I've seen those notes.
Lots of notes. Lots of notes.
Hey, they sent the wrong man.
We'll determine. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
We're going to have a draft off this year. We're going to pick 10 players. Right?
We did this last year.
And did I win?
I think I won.
No.
I think so.
No, I won. I'm sure I won. 10 players.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have to wait a calendar to see who won this thing.
I think it's 10. I think we did 10 players last year.
I think so.
And I think Jason kept the receipts.
All right. We're going to have to
we'll
make sure that Jason got the receipt.
We'll get you on Ticket to the Draft. You can give us a recap and tell us.
I cannot wait. They sent the wrong man.
You mentioned the 3 Ps?
Yeah.
The 4th P. It's Paulsen.
4 Ps. That's too many Ps.
So earlier, we were talking about all the head coaching jobs in the NFL, which have been filled, except for one.
Yep.
Saints still looking for their guy.
Yep.
Brian Schottenheimer.
Now, here go the thing now. I'm a Shotty guy because his daddy,
Marty, yeah.
Marty, drafted me.
Oh, I'd forgotten that.
Marty drafted me. His uncle was my first defensive coordinator.
Really?
Yes.
So you got a history there.
So I have a Schottenheimer history who, rest in peace, one of my favorite guys of all time. Thank you, Marty. You were a blessing, nothing but a blessing. Now, I think Brian Schottenheimer had been set up for failure. All right? He was a part of the last coaching staff that was there. And you fired a Super Bowl winning head coach and replaced him with an offensive coordinator. Now, here go the perks. You know your team. You know your quarterback. You've already called plays with your quarterback. It's very familiar there. So even though they got a new coach, not a lot changes around the building. All right? Not a lot changes around the building. So I guess you got a little continuity, but you're working for Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
He's not going to get out the way. And you are a scapegoat. Like, you are the ultimate scapegoat. I don't know how I feel for Shotty. I don't know how I feel for him.
It's going to be interesting. He hasn't called plays in 2 years. Mike McCarthy did that.
Yes.
But he's called plays before in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And so he doesn't have any head coaching experience, but he has the lineage and the family. It's an interesting hire, but it feels like, and look, maybe it works out great, but at this point, it just feels like a comfort hire for Jerry Jones. Nothing against Brian Schottenheimer.
It felt like a panic hire to me.
Like, well, just like I don't really have anybody.
I can't get Ben Johnson.
I'm gonna go here.
Yes,
because this is the guy I know.
Yes, I might as well hire somebody in the building.
Right.
It's a panic move to me, and I feel like Shotty is being set up to fail. Like, I feel like he's totally the scapegoat in this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be him.
Aaron Glenn.
Now, here go a marriage. Because when I played in the league, Aaron Glenn was playing with Santana in the New York Jets.
Oh, that's right.
All right. Also, Aaron Glenn is the guy that Santana burnt in the Monday Night Massacre.
That's right.
Yes. So Aaron Glenn is a lifer when it comes to the Jets. So if you want somebody to
he's a Jet.
He's a Jet.
Yeah.
All right. So if you want somebody that can implement the Jet culture, get him a fresh start, somebody that ain't going to take that noise from Aaron Rodgers, go smoke your Huasca, whatever you want to do. He is a guy that's going to come in there and say, no, we finna change this.
Yeah.
He understands that their defense that they got is a legit defense, all right? He understands this team just need a little tweaking, and we can contend. So I think Aaron Glenn probably got the best roster, I would say, other than Ben Johnson.
Yeah. Bears have talent.
Yeah, Bears got legit talent.
Yeah.
And they got their quarterback.
Yeah.
That's why the only reason I couldn't put the Jets there, because they don't got their quarterback. Unless Sam Darnold is going back there. But I don't even want to go nowhere that I seen Ghost at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember that one time they put that graphic up while Sam Darnold was out? Mono. It's like he's got mono. When's the last time you saw a mononucleosis graphic?
My grandma caught mono. Yeah. How did you catch mono in 2025? Yeah, I can't play the game.
I got to find that again. It wasn't like illness. It was
Jink,
like mono.
I can't do get loud. I got mono. What does it consist of?
Mono?
Yeah.
I think it's just like, I'm kind of, my immune system's a little run down. I feel a little lethargic.
My voice
throat hurts.
I got mono.
I've been in New York City making out with a bunch of randos. I'm the quarterback of the Jets.
Hey, listen, they're gonna have to find a quarterback. That's it.
Yes.
Sam Darnold's the best on the market right now.
I don't think I would not want to go back and revisit. And also, I do love that Aaron Glenn sort of took the power away from Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, from day one.
From day one and said, no, we'll decide if we want him back.
Yeah.
Because they gave Aaron,
Too much.
Aaron, everything he wanted.
Everything he wanted.
Everything.
But he's so nonchalant as a bad. Is it something? All right, Green Bay quarterbacks. You know me and Brett. I love Brett.
Yeah.
All right. But is it a such thing as Green Bay royalty? Because when you're the quarterback in Milwaukee, in Wisconsin, in Green Bay, you are the most popular guy in the whole state.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of bows and nods to you. But when they leave there, they come off as fickle old men.
It's amazing to see how the perceptions of them have each changed once they
Once they
Green Bay,
left.
for myriad reasons.
Because now people get to know you. Because one thing about Green Bay, it's very isolated. Like, nothing comes out in the media.
Yeah.
Like, nobody talks. So, therefore, we don't really get to know you. But then when you get to a bigger market, a la New York,
Yeah.
this guy just, so, Aaron, what happens if y'all lose next week? We just lose. It'll be all
We
right.
lose. But really,
Yeah.
we've all lost something if you think about
Yes,
it. You know, I was
yeah.
holding hands with my brother, and it's like, okay, here we
Yeah.
go again, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
And for them to say, no, we'll decide. You're not going to hold us hostage any longer. We've
Yeah.
given you everything. Now it's our call to make. I like that Aaron Glenn from the jump sort of set that standard.
Yeah, I like that. So is Aaron Rodgers the new quarterback for the Pete Carroll-led Raiders?
It's possible. I don't. How do you feel? I think Pete Carroll is a good.
I love Pete
I
Carroll.
love Pete Carroll, and I think regardless of how it turns out in Vegas, that franchise needs stability.
And that's what he
they
brings.
just need a guy who can come in, be a pro,
Be a boss.
be a boss, know what he's doing, know how to handle a locker room, know how to win. And even you say, I don't necessarily believe that the game has passed him by. I don't believe that.
No, ain't no such thing with coaches. Like,
Yeah.
come on. I call Coach Gibbs out of retirement.
Yeah.
If you can coach, you can coach. All right? Pete Carroll can coach. All energy. He might be in his 70s, but he got the energy of a 40-year-old man. And what he do got is two good tight ends. One could be great over there. He got a couple of offensive line pieces. All right? He has Max Crosby on defense.
Animal.
Like, Pete Carroll will have them rolling, but boy, Coach Carroll, you in the division with Andy Reid. You in the beat, and this is the thing that me and my homeboy was talking about. Do Pete Carroll just want to stick it to Harbaugh again? Because, you know, they got this thing going.
Oh, yeah.
They got this pro college thing going. And I think Pete was just sitting at home like, Harbaugh, I see what you did. I'm finna come mess your parade up. Like, they have this,
Yeah.
they have this swabble. And now they in-division rivalries.
Think about the coaches in that division from top to bottom.
That's what I said.
It's wild.
It's wild in that division. So there's gonna be a division to watch, man.
Let me ask you a hypothetical.
Yeah, I love hypothetical.
Okay. So let's pretend that the Vegas Raiders have been out for a while, that they weren't always in Oakland, LA, whatever.
Yeah.
What if they existed as a franchise in Vegas and you got drafted by the Las Vegas
No.
Raiders? How long would your career have lasted?
17 days.
That's about right.
Every bit of 17 days.
Longer than I expected.
This is the thing. This is the thing about it is you have to be true to yourself and understand who you are as a 20-year-old. Because I got drafted. I had literally turned 21 the day I got drafted.
Is that? I can't even imagine.
Listen, and you're gonna let me. It's a couple of cities that chew football players up. And I said it when they said they would move to Vegas. I was like, ooh, it's gonna be a learning curve there. Like the football players gonna have to learn how to coexist with
Right.
Vegas. All right, it's like that in Miami.
That's a real. Oh, absolutely. It's a
It's
real
like
thing.
that in Miami. Santana said he didn't like living in New York because it was just too much. He did not enjoy it. So I was like two cities that the football players are gonna have to learn how to live in: L.A., Las Vegas. It's a learning curve there. No. I enjoyed the fact that I came here, not knowing, thinking we were gonna be living in Washington, D.C. No, we live in Northern Virginia. All right? Away from everything. The perfect place for me, Green Bay.
I was just gonna say, like, you want to go somewhere it's isolated where you can just focus on football? Green Bay.
Packers of Green Bay. All right? That's where you send me. All right? Yes. I'm glad Vegas didn't have a squad when we came out.
Oh my
I'm
God.
totally good.
Can you imagine?
Hey, listen, I can. That's the thing about it. Listen, I have watched the script in Las Vegas eat people up, spit them out. Whatever left, the shoe, whatever left. No, a young Fred Smoot would have been like, you know what? I got to get married. Got to
I gotta
get married.
get back.
I got to get
I've been
married.
17 times to Vegas, but I haven't been in like 3 or 4 years now. But I used to go at least twice a year
Well, you know,
on the regular.
you never know what your bachelor party holds.
Oh my God.
You never know.
I'm not complaining about anything. I love that city though. I love Vegas.
No, it's a great
and I'm
city.
like, yo, I've been to Vegas a few times where I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
No.
And that's me.
72 hours.
You have to go.
I got a 72-hour
have to
rule
go.
in Vegas. I got to get out of there. But Dale, I ask you a question.
Sure.
Which city is better, Vegas or New Orleans?
It's New Orleans.
It's New Orleans.
It's New Orleans.
Because it's a cheaper version.
It's a cheaper version. The
The
food's
food is
better.
better.
It's cheaper. You can still gamble if you want.
Yeah. And
Anything you can get in Vegas,
you can get
in New Orleans.
You can get it better.
Absolute
so I
facts.
just really want to know how you feel because a lot of people think Vegas is the pinnacle.
I love Vegas, but you can do. New Orleans will blow your mind, and you get that hospitality and the vibe down there. It's different.
Hey, and once you park, ain't no more getting in no car. Like it's
You just
over
walk
with.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just walk
Yeah.
everywhere.
And Vegas, you do have to take like cabs or wherever to
Yeah.
different places. You can't just like walk up
Yeah.
down the strip.
And then
you can try.
Let's
but
be honest. Vegas is really one street,
yes.
one boulevard. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not cultured either. It's not cultured.
Yeah.
But I do want to go see the big Sphere.
Oh, I haven't seen the Sphere. Yeah. I'd love to
I
see that.
want to go see a concert in the Sphere. I heard it was the best experience you could ever have. I think people be walking out of there with vertigo.
I
all
want to see a
kind of stuff.
concert there. Is what I want to see.
Yeah, I
Like
heard
a
that-
musical act there.
I had a lot of friends out there for the U2 concert.
Oh yeah.
And they was just blown away by it. If you could see somebody in the Sphere, what artist would it be?
Well, I want to go see New Edition because that's my favorite group of
Yeah,
all time.
I know
That's
it.
old school, but
You
they're not
one of them
performing at the
janky
Sphere.
boys, I
know,
tell you.
I love NE, man. And their residency continue for a few dates here in a couple months, so I may go out there, but they're not going to perform at the Sphere because they're old school.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of someone
Dead or alive?
dead or alive. Oh,
Who would you
Prince,
want to see?
maybe?
Prince, most definitely.
Right?
Oh, yes, sir. I went to a Prince concert when it was the MCI Center.
Oh, did you really? I saw him in Dallas. Wasn't he amazing? Oh my God.
A tear came down just slowly down my cheek.
I saw him in Dallas.
Yeah.
Many years ago, obviously. But I remember at the end of the show, like I love when every now and then you're experiencing greatness as it
Yes.
happens. And of course, it's at the end, like almost like tear up thinking about it because of course everything gets purple.
Yeah.
It's Purple Rain. He's playing for 15, 16 minutes, wailing away on the
ripping.
guitar, eyes closed, and you're like, this is a genius. And I'm getting to watch it. Oh, it was so
He
special.
ripped his blouse off. And I'm serious.
No, I believe it. I'm sorry. I just a transition I didn't expect. He ripped his blouse off.
He ripped his blouse off. And I know I counted at least 33 chest hairs right there. And he slowly started to play. That's how he entered the Purple Rain in the MCI Center when I was there.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
I was like, this is right here. Can't be beat. Like, can't be beat.
I saw this story on TikTok yesterday.
Yeah.
And so it was Fred Armisen from SNL.
Yeah.
And he was on Howard Stern, and he was being asked about going to one of Prince's after parties
Yeah.
when Prince would play SNL.
Yeah.
And he said one night, I believe it was Prince's place, and
I'm Lake Minnetonka. Yes,
Yeah.
I lived in
Or, I
Minnesota.
don't
I
know, or
lived
maybe it
not
was
too far from there.
or maybe Prince threw a party,
Yeah.
whatever it was
Yeah.
SNL oriented,
Yeah.
right? And so they were surrounded by Prince, and Prince had at this after party, after he played, some macaroni and cheese. Okay? And so he's eating the macaroni and cheese, and Fred Armisen's like, I hate to be a fanboy here,
Yeah.
but it's quiet. Prince is alone.
Mhm.
He's eating this mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I gotta say something. Yeah,
Yeah.
just real quick.
Yeah.
And he said he walks over to Prince. He goes, hey, I'm so sorry. I have to tell you, you are the greatest.
Yeah.
You're the greatest.
Mhm.
And he said that Prince looks up and goes, you know what I think is the greatest? This macaroni and cheese. And keeps eating.
Yes.
I'm like, that sounds exactly like something he would say.
Yes, that sounds like something he
Yeah,
would say.
yeah.
Most definitely. I had a chance to meet Prince while I was in Minnesota.
Oh, my God.
Great man. Great experience. And Minnesota really takes on his vision. Like, that's a purple city.
Yeah.
For a reason. It's purple because of Prince.
Before we get to voicemails,
Yeah.
I think we have a couple more. Mike Vrabel, Pats.
It feels like the Aaron Glenn hire.
Yeah.
It's family. Welcome back home.
Yeah.
Now, how they did old ball coach running him out of there after 1 year, I didn't think that was a fair shot for him.
Yeah.
But I think it was to the point where they couldn't let Mike Vrabel pass them.
Yeah.
He's a Patriot.
Stability.
Yes, and you remember when they retired his jersey and he came back and made that speech when he was still a Titan
Yeah.
and how much he talked about this is my home.
Mm-hmm.
I knew then he was going to get that job. That was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I knew he was going to get that job. They want.
It makes sense.
They want the old thing back.
Yeah.
That's what they want. And he the closest thing to the old thing.
Give us a call. 703-726-7419. Or you can give us an email.
Yeah, why not?
WashingtonGetLoud at email or gmail.com. You can shoot us an email
That
as
boy
well.
said
Caroline, what do we got?
email.com.
To round 2.
All right.
I just want to, and Michael, I just want to know if we was to keep Marshawn Lattimore, is it possible that you could move him to safety or free safety, strong safety, whichever it is? Do you think he would be a better fit there? Let me know what you think. This is Rodney from Lexington Park, Maryland.
I love it, Rodney. You left me right out of there. You just, Jinx. Jinx asked this question. He asked him, all right, is it possible to move Marshawn Lattimore to free safety, a strong safety, which I say thumbs down. He's a corner.
Well, you know better than I do. You're a former NFL cornerback and a damn good one. I would say that this is very much recency bias.
Yeah.
Which is what you saw from Marshawn Lattimore late in the season is not what maybe you expected or wanted. And so there's this knee-jerk reaction. Well, let's move him to a different spot. At the end of the day, this is still, I believe, one of the very good, if not the best corners in the National Football League. So give him a full offseason. Let's get him healthy and let him get back to work.
I'm going to use one of your favorite groups.
Okay.
It's like when Bobby Brown left New Edition and they brought in Johnny Gill.
Worth it. Love JG.
I'm just saying, though, like, it takes a little transition time. It takes us a little time to get used to that. Well, that ain't
But once
Bobby.
they did.
But once they did, they got to rolling. So, no, Jinx is right. Be patient. He's a legit lockdown corner. Give him a chance. He made it to the family a little late. I can see him mid-season not feeling part of the brotherhood. I can feel him feeling like an outsider in the locker room. I can feel it. I've been there with players. I understand. Be patient with him. Give him a chance. I think we got one of the best duos with him and Mikey Sarenstiel. We are in good hands with Allstate.
You also have to take a big picture perspective because then you displace someone. There's no guarantee Lattimore's going to be good at a different position.
Yeah.
And it changes up way too many factors. Why disrupt the apple cart when, look, yes.
And Quan is my safety, and I want Jeremy Chin signed back. Those are my starting safeties.
I'm in agreement with you there, brother.
Love it. Love how he called you Michael. That one really threw me off.
I know. I was like, oh, I got to
That was a little formal.
put
Set
on
up
my
straight.
bow tie.
Thank you. All right, number 2.
Fred, Smoot, Jenks, that was good. Hey, this Cali Commander coming live from the 209 Modesto, California, man. Hey, man, I just want to say, listen, this magic, it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been one hell of a year, man. And all I can say is I'm positive we'll be back. No doubt. We'll be back. Yeah, I can finally wash my jerseys now, because I didn't want to wash them things. But, magical things right there. Man, yeah, I can finally throw those in the wash. I want to know, does any of y'all have any superstition thing like that,
Yeah, we got superstition. Cause I usually game day this whole year. I wore my game day New Balance, which happened to be burgundy and white New Balance.
Oh, nice.
And I would wear them. In the game that I didn't wear them, we lost. So I started to wear them again. So then, all right, I had this old piece of game sock that I used to keep.
Okay.
And I had this game sock so long that
It's
that it's just only the band.
Oh, no. Like the elastic band?
Yeah, the sock part is dead.
It's just the elastic.
Yes, I kept this sock since my rookie year.
Oh, my God.
So I started at the end of the year. I would put my socks on, and I would just put this little band. And my son caught me putting it on, and they're like, "What are you doing? What is that?" I said, "Son, it used to be my good luck sock." He like, "You need to throw that." I'm fine with it, but no, I have this little piece of sock, and I was wearing it during that thumping we took against Philadelphia. I'm trying to see how long my sock got. And is it considered still a sock? Because it used to be a sock. Is it more of a wristband now? An ankle band?
It's just the remnants of a sock. Like, this was once a sock.
This used
You
to
won't
be a
believe
sock.
it, son. This used to be my sock.
This
used
used to be my
whole
game
leg.
socks. Yeah, I caught
Go
an
up to the
interception
knee.
against the Cowboys in this sock. What about you? You superstitious?
Not really.
You just stitious.
Just a little stitious.
All right,
No,
I
I'm not really superstitious. Like I have things when I prepare for, I'm very OCD in like how I go about things. Like
All right.
go about things a certain way, but really not superstitious. Like if I don't do this in this way, oh my God, something's bad. Something bad is gonna happen.
So if you're walking down the street and you split a pole, would you go back around the pole or would you just keep walking?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
You never heard of that?
I've heard like opening an umbrella inside.
And walking under a ladder?
I guess that's true. Walking under a ladder. I can't remember the last time I walked under. I think there's so much construction in the city.
I've been saying,
like after a while, I'm like, man, I'm always walking
I'm
under
walking
something.
under scaffolding all the time.
Yeah, like I live in D.C. Like I'm not gonna walk around the corner every single time there's something being built. You know?
Yeah, I understand, but some people are very,
Yeah, no, that's true.
especially in the South where we from.
Oh yeah.
They are very stitious now.
Oh, you're right about that. Let's pay some bills real quick.
All right,
Then we
why
gotta
not?
talk. God, we haven't talked about the Super Bowl.
Because I think we sad.
Yeah.
It's a part of
We can
just,
talk about NBA.
Yeah, you know, it's just so sad.
Here's something that makes you happy.
Yeah,
SeatGeek.
it does.
Yep. The 2025 season will be here before you know it, and SeatGeek is here to help so you can experience all the action. They make it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of every single touchdown celebration next season. We're already talking about next season. It doesn't matter if you're buying or selling tickets to Commanders football games or any other live event in D.C., SeatGeek is the place to do it. The official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders, the most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
What if I want a seat behind a pole?
Oh, just look. You click when the filter, you click behind the pole.
Yes,
And
thank
it's
you.
right there. I did not know you were a Lakers fan.
Yes, I am
This
a
is
Lakers
new to
fan.
me.
All right, put it like this. I'm every sport in Washington besides the Washington Wizards. Because I have been living in this city for 20 plus years.
Gonna get Cooper Flag though.
And I have never walked into Harry Potter or any other wizard walking the streets of DMV. So I, myself, Gandalf, none of them. All right?
It took me a second.
Yeah.
I was like,
Worst name in sports.
Wizards?
Yeah.
You ever seen G Wiz take his cap off? He's got like three feathers right there.
He's a mess. Listen, like I said, I'm a national. I'm a capital.
Okay.
All of the above. Even our rugby team. All right? I'm all over the place. But when it comes to the NBA, it started with Kobe. All right? I'm a big Kobe Bryant, love Magic Johnson. So I was stuck with the Lakers. All right? And I have watched us stiff people for years. We told the Magic, you give us Shaq, we're going to give you some cupcakes. Right?
Okay.
They went for it. We told the Mavericks, you give us Luka, we're going to give you a Five Guys burger, in and out. They said, okay. All right? So we got them too. All right? I got LeBron James and what I call Luka Lannister, the King Slayer. All right? Okay. The King Slayer on the same squad. Dare I say we're going to the playoffs, people? Yes, we are.
I mean, this had to be the easiest call that Rob Pelinka ever took in his life. Like,
Yes.
okay, you're dealing Luka, you're not talking to anyone else. What do you want? Okay, AD, how many first round draft picks? One?
Yeah.
Oh, a couple players?
Yeah.
Sold.
Yes.
We got a superstar who's only 25.
25.
Not in his prime yet. All NBA first 5 seasons.
Yes.
MVP guy, went to the NBA Finals last year.
Yep.
Could be our next superstar for the next decade and a half.
Yes.
Yes. You want a guy who's going to turn 32?
Yes.
And we give up an extra first round draft? Oh,
Who don't
my
shave his
God.
eyebrows, by the way. All right? Now, I like AD.
AD's a hell of a player.
But as a Laker fan, I always felt you can still tell that AD played guard when he was in high school. Because that under the whole toughness, he don't have it all the time.
He wants to be at 4. He doesn't want to be a center.
Yeah, that's what kind of got him traded, you know. I want to be a 4, it doesn't matter, 4 or 5.
The Mavs have some bigs, but here's the thing. I don't mind a trade if Dallas had gotten in return a bunch of pieces, a bunch of draft picks. When Kevin Durant signed with the Suns 2 years ago,
Yeah.
the Suns gave away 4 first-rounders. The Knicks gave away, 5 first-rounders for Mikal Bridges?
Yes, yes. Listen, I can't hate the way the Lakers do business. I love the way the Lakers do business. But it's a lot of Mavs fans feel like as a complete squad now, with Kyrie back at the point, because now Kyrie can
he'll run the
dominate the
show
ball. And now with AD, they feel like they got a better playoff team. What you think about that?
I think it's a better match, but they have to win right now. Like, none of this will matter if the Mavericks don't win immediately because their window is probably 3-4 years tops.
Yeah.
So they got to push 80 out. They get Derek Lively back. They have Daniel Gafford. They got, a good veteran shooter in Clay. And now Kyrie can run things. So the potential is there.
Yeah.
But it better come together quick, because here's the thing. The Lakers, even if the Lakers don't win a title this year, which I still don't think they will, the West is way strong
Don't hate on us.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying the West is really strong. And these young cats, the Rockets, the Thunder are unbelievable.
I think the East is stronger. I think the Knicks team is a very top-notch team. I think the cream of the crop is Boston.
They are. Yeah.
And Cleveland got something to say,
Cleveland's
too.
very good.
So I'm just saying, everybody like to ride the West. Oh, the West so good. I think the more complete squads are in the East.
Yes, I'd say the more complete squads, but the most dangerous conference, if you're looking for the next 4 or 5 years, the West is the Rockets are getting good.
Yeah, the Rockets are
already
good.
Great.
Yeah.
The Spurs got the Aaron Fox to go with Wemby. Wemby's still a baby.
I would say that's going to be poison right there.
But I love more than anything, though, is that if you're the Lakers, and I'm not even a Lakers guy, let's say it doesn't work. Let's say the Lakers don't win a title and LeBron retires in 2-3 years. You still got Luka in his prime. You didn't give up. And you can so no matter what happens this year, it is win across the board.
I will say this. If the Wizards draft Cooper Flag,
you got to get on board.
They will become my 1B team. All right? That's how perfect symmetry is this. We are now called Washington District of Champions. That's what DC stands for. All right? We've had the number 2 draft pick in every sport this year. We had the number 2.
Oh, that's right.
All right? Baseball team got better. James Wood and the rest of those dudes, they are ready to bust. All right?
I like when you get ready to preach.
Yeah.
Real quiet.
Jaden Daniels has showed you what I bring to the table when it comes to the Washington Commanders. And then we bring to the nation's capital a guy last name Flag. On his first card, I just want to see him holding and waving an American flag. All right? And you put him in the middle of D.C. I will say this. If that happens, for the next decade, we might be finna get what I call Bostonian treatment.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
I know where you're going.
I'm talking about parade after parade. I'm talking Fred Smoot drunk on Independence Drive. All right? I'm talking parade after parade. If we can get Cooper Flag.
When I was younger, I used to fly my freak flag.
Yes.
But then I found the Lord.
Yes, I did.
And there's a different kind of flag I'm interested in now.
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
only get drunk after a championship.
That's it.
Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag. Ooh. I'm just saying, right now, the Wizards have won as many games as a dead man.
They're bad.
They're bad.
But only for a while.
SARS look good, though.
They have good young talent, but Cooper Flag is that dude.
Koulibaly he's getting better.
Yep.
They are getting there. You're a Cooper Flag away. All I'm saying is the District of Champions.
What a podcast.
Yeah.
Man, now we got a bachelor party to plan?
Yeah, listen, I cannot wait. I'm getting on it right now. Calling my sister.
See you guys in a few months.
Sister Jack Daniels.
Have a great week. See you next week. The views and opinions expressed by our podcast guests and or hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Washington Commanders or any of their representatives.